Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. It is election day, folks, at least for us here in the United States, but the thing is, for the nearly other half of my audience who is outside of the United States, sorry, I hate to say it, but it still matters to you because what happens in the United States, which is the largest capital market in the world, will absolutely impact all of you listening. For better or worse, whatever you think about that, that's just the nature of things. So I just want to say this at the outset of the video. No matter what happens, and I'm not going to be preaching politics on this channel, never have, never will. I only speak about politics insofar as it pertains to the economy, finance and crypto specifically. But I will say this, and I firmly believe this, no matter who wins on election day, and maybe it's going to be contested, maybe we don't know the actual winner for some amount of time, whether it's weeks or months even, and there's precedent for that, by the way. No matter who wins, though, XRP is going to rally. It will not matter in the end. It will not matter. And I'll explain why, because, saying XRP is going to rally no matter what is very different than saying crypto is going to be just as well off, broadly speaking, no matter who wins, which is not true. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto, but just as a hobby and just for fun. So what do I actually mean by that? Well, look, money's going to flow into crypto no matter what. Like we're in a situation where liquidity will be increasing, broadly speaking. More money is going to be flowing into the stock market. More on that in just a moment. And crypto, it just moves in tandem. We're in liquidity cycles. That's what causes all this to happen, 4-year cycles. It just is a thing. That's happening no matter what. So where I'm concerned, if you have a Harris administration, as it pertains to crypto specifically, is the degree to which development is going to occur outside of the United States, to what degree it will slow down as a result of that, to what degree are we still going to have to deal with Operation Choke Point 2.0, where they're trying to take out the on-ramps and on-ramps for crypto. Now, they're going to fail no matter what. Long-term, they fail. But there's a question of how much does it slow down? That's the problem. So if we have to deal with that type of environment that's anti-crypto for, say, another 4 to 8 years, which is possible, that's where my concern is. Not about the long-term viability of XRP and crypto being accepted in the United States. And so it's not that it's going to, remove the opportunity for life-changing wealth in a rally. Like, the rally is going to happen or it's not. And, unless we get a black swan event, my vote is that what's most probable is stock market goes up way, way, way higher, Russell 2000 expands, and crypto moves in tandem, and you ultimately have an alt season. I think that happens no matter who wins. I very genuinely believe that. Now, I made it clear which way I want things to go, in particular as it pertains to crypto, because, you're just going to have much greater acceptance. A lot of the red tape goes away, but under Harris, I'm just not confident. She's paid a minimal amount of lip service to crypto folks, but almost none. And I don't believe her. I simply do not. So that's the nuance there. So there's this post from the Daily Hodl, which I think you're going to find fascinating. It's titled, Fundstrat's Tom Lee says markets set to rally into year-end regardless of election winner. Yeah, and so I agree with that. I absolutely do. And I'll talk about XRP specifically in just a moment, because there's an article I actually just had on my screen a second ago. It's from the Crypto Basic. I'll get to this in just a minute. Here's what's stopping XRP from move from 50 cents to $1. And I disagree with almost everything that's said in here. So I'm going to take a few minutes to talk about that. But no matter who wins, XRP rallies. I could not feel more confident about that being true. I could not possibly. So again, don't want additional roadblocks. So not a fan personally of Harris, but again, XRP runs either way. Crypto runs either way. So to the Daily Hodl piece, though, let's get into this, because I found the perspective to be pretty insightful, and I think this makes sense. Fundstrat managing partner and head of research Tom Lee says that markets are setting up to rally into 2025, no matter who wins the U.S. election. In a new interview on CNBC, Lee says that while the election has caused some trades to reverse, it's also placed cash on the sidelines and ready to boost markets when the uncertainty has passed. Folks, you may have caught me saying this a lot recently, recent days and weeks. Markets don't like the uncertainties. That's why if you look back historically, when do markets move in election years? After the election. Historically, that's true. Now, we've had a pretty damn good year, frankly, in the stock market and crypto. But, not surprised recently that there's been a bit of a holdup here. It's whoever wins. It doesn't matter in the end. The market just needs to know. I mean, yes, fine, you could technically have to some degree some short-term difference. Fine, but it's not going to change on a higher time frame whether or not we have a ridiculously incredible life-changing bull run, right? So he's absolutely correct on that. Markets just don't like uncertainty, but they'll know how to allocate based on who wins moving forward. And so here's this quote. I'm bullish only in the sense that election uncertainty has caused people to de-risk and cash to sit on the sidelines, but the fundamentals have been good, earnings seasons have been very good, the Fed is dovish, and I don't think it's going to matter who ends up in the White House, even if it's a split Congress or a sweep. I think markets do pretty well either way. So sets up for a really good rally into year end, but when it starts in November is just what we don't know. Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't mean say it's not, the election's not contested. We do know what happens. We know who the winner is. It could go either way. Maybe it's going to be close. We'll see. Some think it's going to be a landslide. I'm not here to comment on that. It's not what the channel's for. But you know, even if there's a we get the news, it's final, Harris or Trump wins. It doesn't mean literally the next day the market starts going. Even if the market likes it, there can still be a delay. So when he says, you know, it starts in November, it's just kind of, we don't know exactly what day, you know, doesn't know when. I say fair enough. Now, as far as, you know, what happens even if Congress is split, I don't know if you guys realize this. I've mentioned it a few times on my channel over the years, but markets actually prefer a split Congress. Why? Because they, like, Congress doing stuff, bad. That's how the markets view it. They'd rather have gridlock than Congress do something, which is hilarious. But it's like this isn't my opinion. Data shows markets perform better when there's red tape there, or not even red tape, but just when there's you know, that split there, and maybe you're in a lame duck session and it's harder to get stuff done. Them's the facts, folks. So you know, it's still good for markets either way. I mean, and so ultimately, if liquidity truly is going to be increasing, yeah, number go up ultimately. It's just not going to matter. So if anybody's freaking out about who's going to win as it pertains to crypto, don't freak out. It doesn't make sense. If you want to freak out, let it be for, you know, your own individual political beliefs. That's fine. I'm just not going to talk about that. But not over this. that part doesn't make sense. And so then we have this article from the Crypto Basic. Again, it's here's what's stopping XRP move from 50 cents to $1. My God. Oh, let me just be super duper clear about this. What's stopping it is broader expansion in crypto markets. XRP volatility has been decreasing literally for almost 7 years at this point. It's been trending within a symmetrical triangle. So if you want it to break out from that, you need to have expansion of markets. You need to see the Russell 2000 go, which I believe will ultimately happen. That's what's most probable, I think, anyway. And then you'll have an alt season. Alt season has always happened in tandem with that. That's it. There's nothing wrong with XRP here. And if you think otherwise, you are wrong. I respectfully disagree with you. You are wrong. That is not what's happening here. XRP has always gone with the rest of the market. It doesn't hit new highs without that occurring. And so I don't need to read the whole article just to make a few points here, but they were highlighting what some of the community said. Somebody wrote, the switch has yet to be flipped, which I just find silly, and there's nothing to that. So how else am I even going to comment on that? The switch has yet to be flipped. Oh, okay. So people don't have access to speculative markets now. Somebody has to flip some figurative or literal switch, and then all of a sudden, all the people that didn't have access to XP, now they can hop on exchanges and buy it. They don't. That's just absurd. What do you actually mean by that? No offense, but like that's a silly idea. It does not make sense. There's no shortage of people. The demand just isn't there yet, and it's not because there's something wrong with XRP. It's that things move in cycles. The stock market even moves together, and yes, I'll certainly argue that individual differences between companies, it matters much more than individual differences between crypto, because this asset class in crypto, it's nascent, and people don't sufficiently appreciate the differences, and it's not clear which cryptos deserve to be here for the long haul. Not all of them. I mean, I think XRP is an obvious win, but... and then, so anyway, somebody else wrote, low transactions across the XRP ledger. Okay, but again, I go back to what's causing... If there's low transactions, and actually, by the way, there's been an uptick in activity recently, thank you, memes. But why might that be? Why is there less focus? There's less focus on Bitcoin. There's less focus on crypto for like half a year now. We've been consolidating. That's not an XRP problem. That's a market problem, if you even want to call it a problem. It's more like just the state of things. And then somebody else wrote, insider suppression, which I'm sure some of you people know and are under NDA. Now that one, again, no offense, that's silly AF. Insider suppression? Who? How many humans? And they have, so think about how many millions of people are speculating on crypto and XRP specifically. And you're going to tell me that there's some sort of shadowy figures out there that are somehow suppressing price? Where's the activity that is doing it? Who are they? And why? It doesn't make sense. Insider suppression? My God, there are so many people that own XRP. But you just think like, what, a handful of people are literally just keeping the price down? For why? It doesn't make sense. There's nothing to that. I see people say this stuff, and I'm sorry. Again, no offense. I gotta roll my eyes. It just does not make a damn bit of sense to me. Insider suppression? Who and why? Where's your evidence? Or do you just say stuff on the internet? Well, I think you just say stuff on the internet. That's it. Then there was this one. This one's silly too. Headwinds from the SEC suggest that its lawsuit against Ripple is a key factor impacting XRP's price. Well, data says no, actually. If you look at price action, XRP went down like, what, a couple pennies or so when the appeal news broke, and then it went back up a little bit, and then it mostly traded sideways. And it, by the way, the moment where you could see the notable drop on a chart, it lasted for about 90 minutes, and that was it. Whereas when XRP was attacked by the SEC and Ripple was sued, the price slid dramatically for a week. Think about it. The market's telling you they don't care. And we know for sure that XRP has legal clarity. This doesn't matter. This will not prevent XRP from going on a massive bull run if the rest of the market goes. I think time's going to bear that out. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say, all right? That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.